What up, everyone? I'm Rich Mays Lopez.
And I'm Brendan Dunn, news editor at Soul Collector.
I'm Matt Welty, editor of Complex Sneakers.
And this is Full Size Run Show, of course, your weekly dose of everything sneaker culture, sneaker releases, sneaker business, sneaker everything.
We're here to talk sneakers.
That's it. You got the point. Of course, we are going through news. We are going through releases. We are going through the best and worst that we saw this week. And we have a special edition of the mailbag this week where we're taking a look at some of the best costumes that we saw on the internet this week.
Yeah, some good sneaker-related get-ups out there.
And most important news of the week, of the weekend, or the upcoming weekend is, of course, Complex Con and the FSR boys.
We're going to be in the building.
We will be in the building.
We do have our plane tickets. I don't know about you guys.
Yes.
I don't have my fit totally planned out.
I don't have a fit
I think
yet.
we're going to do a conference call tonight to kind of pick out
Do you have a fit yet?
what exactly we're wearing.
I don't have a fit and I ran into a predicament, but I will have a fit.
A predicament.
Okay.
Yeah.
Share the predicament with us. Come
What's
on.
the predicament?
Went to a soccer game the other day and accidentally...
As these stories usually start.
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy, but I accidentally left my credit card at the...
How many stories start like this? No, seriously, how many stories start like this?
Of your wallet have you lost like this?
No, it wasn't like that. It was like they closed the bar down before I came back.
Oh, the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I need to go to said place to get my credit card so I can go cop my fit.
Okay. Eventually, Matt Welty will have a fit for Complex Con.
And he'll be there.
If not, hit our Patreon account. It doesn't exist yet.
And get us a table and Matt Welty a fit. Brendan, Can we speak about the sneaker news, please?
Right off the bat, I want to talk about some news we heard from Nike's Investors Day meeting. I'm obsessed with Nike's Investors Day meeting and their quarterly reports and things like that, and combing through all of them to see what
Shout
kind
out
of.
to you for doing that, though.
That's a lot of transcripts.
It's
to
a
read
lot,
through,
and not
man.
only that, too. You sit there with your headphones and you're like
I'm
razor
in the-
sharp.
I'm in the zone.
You're in there.
I'm in the zone, and we do have some juicy tidbits from the latest one. The Investors Day meeting is a big deal, by the way. This is more than just a quarterly. This only happens once every 2 years. This one particularly important because of Nike's struggles right now. A couple things we want to mention. There is a new Kobe shoe. Mark Parker pulled Kobe onto the stage. They didn't show the shoe, but they talked about it a little bit. Mark Parker basically, this is his quote, he said, quote, "It's called the Kobe 360. As Kobe continues to push us, this product represents a breakthrough in how shoes are designed." Strange that he didn't use the word innovation, because I don't know how Mark Parker gets through a sentence without that. But so there is a new Kobe shoe on the way.
I've said this before. I think that Kobe's line, in my personal opinion, is the most innovative basketball line from Nike after Jordan's. So I'm excited about it.
I think Kobe, I mean, they kind of sell this angle, but I really believe it that he seems to be the most engaged with the design.
I agree
aspect
that
of it.
100%.
Eric Avar, who designed a good number of Kobe shoes, is always talking about how much he actually nerds out over this stuff.
Plus, you can imagine as anal and as sharp focused as Kobe is, that he wants to know exactly what's going on in his sneakers.
But also the fact that his shoes only change slightly throughout the years. You know, a lot of brands would be like, no, you're having this shoe next year. And the fact that Kobe probably shut a lot of that down and was like, no, it's exactly
this is what I want. Yeah, for sure. I believe that. 100%.
We also heard that Kyrie Irving is getting another sneaker. Kyrie's sneakers have been massively popular, partly because of the price point thing. I think his current signature model is at $120, if I'm not wrong, the Nike Kyrie 3. Kyrie 4 obviously on the way, but in addition to that, he'll have an $80 price point shoe that Nike will look to, move even more units off. So how do we feel about that?
I feel like we were wondering when Kyrie went to the Boston Celtics, what Nike would do to try to capitalize on that trade.
Yeah.
And I guess this is it, trying to move more cheaper Kyries. I mean, what we've heard is that, and what we know is that the performance basketball market is suffering.
Right.
The higher price points that Nike was charging years ago, $250, $275,
they came
$200,
down, right?
had to
You
come
can't
down
do that anymore.
to $185, $150, in hopes that they can resuscitate the performance basketball market and move more units. I don't know if it's going to work.
Is it too low?
That's the thing. I don't know if it's going to work because it's too low.
$80 sounds too low. I mean,
seems
maybe
a
it's
little
a
famous
kids-only
footwear-ish.
thing or something like that.
What do
I
you
don't know what
guys
the
take
strategy
of
is there.
that often told marketing storyline of the reason why I want my shoes to be cheaper is because growing up I couldn't afford them?
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that for a second.
That's to me. That's always just an excuse.
It's a good story.
I'm sure. Respect to Dame Lillard, but he said that quote a couple times about why he doesn't want his shoes to have boost because he wants them to be more affordable. He switched it to sometimes say that he likes bounce better or something like that. I never believe that. I'm pretty sure.
I'm with you, Welty, though. A low price point on performance basketball sneakers can be scary. Because you could think as a player, like, does this have what I need?
That's barely more than like a Roshi
or a Monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
sticking
a
with
little scared of
Monarchs
it.
for the record. Also, a nice quote out of here is that Mark Parker did address the ongoing controversy around Nike's new NBA jerseys ripping. He said, quote, "We're working with the NBA. We've isolated the issue, and we feel we've got command of the situation. We feel good about where we are." Nike actually gave us a comment after the jersey rips, which may or may not have been inspired by Welty himself trying to rip the jersey. I don't know.
100%
if that,
inspired.
You know,
100%.
people were talking after that, so I'm sure that motivated them.
It's just funny that he said we've isolated the issue. Like he didn't say what the issue was.
This is a fluff statement to me. It doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just funny that you see like these sort of things happening because you imagine that there's tons of innovation and R&D that goes into these jerseys, and rolling out a jersey that fucks up performance-wise has to be like really embarrassing.
I've
Yikes.
seen that
I mean-
people are saying that this is some kind of performance attribute that it rips off of you so that it doesn't get stuck to you if someone's trying to pull your jersey off. I don't believe that also for a second. I think that there's something wrong here, but we said it before, is that they went too light and too minimal.
but let's remember, still not light enough for the likes of my arms because I was not able to rip one here.
Well, yeah.
Here on the set, so I definitely will
What
be
we
in the
should
gym
do is-
throwing the plates around. Also, I'm not a jersey guy. I'm sticking to turtleneck. By the
You're
way,
a
I'm
turtleneck
happy
guy.
it's turtleneck season again.
Is it
I'm about
turtleneck season?
I'm about to shut it down. Yeah, it got down to like 50 degrees in New York this week. It's definitely turtleneck.
What if we
season.
bring Draymond Green on set and you and him hug it out and see if you can rip a jersey?
Draymond?
You know
We
what
would
I'm
love to
saying?
have you.
On to kind of another sport entirely, almost two different sports. The black, red Nike SB Dunk Low Pigeon, I guess part 2, was semi-officially unveiled. I say semi because it wasn't official, but if Eric Costin is doing it, it's through Nike.
Yeah, it's happening. This felt like Nike kind of trying to get on top of the narrative or be like,
Before it gets worse.
yeah, here's the actual shoes.
So the sneaker is a black-red version of the SB Dunk Low Pigeon.
And not as marginally popular sneaker website, Sneaker News, put out there
Marginally.
Nike SB Dunk High. They even went through the time to Photoshop a Nike SB Dunk High and put their watermark on it, but it's not a Nike SB Dunk
Shout
High
out
as
to
far
that.
as we could tell.
Shout out to that
Is that what
marginally
you
popular
used
website.
when you worked there though?
Is a pigeon dunk in 2017 interesting?
Yes.
Okay, why?
This shoe has too much heritage for it to not be interesting. For Nike SB to revisit this moment, that the original Pigeon Dunk release in 2005 famously caused a riot. I don't know if the word
We'll find
riot
out.
is totally accurate, but we
might
can
find out.
discuss all that. And it kind of just speaks to where Nike SB is as far as trying to return to some of that nostalgia. I think it's going to be a great barometer of how much Nike SB can really get people to care because they're bringing out like the big guns now.
This is it.
You know what I mean?
This is it.
They brought out the Diamond Dunk as a high,
Garbage.
and they revisited some older stuff that people really cared about and they brought it back out. But
Mostly
this is
garbage.
like the one, right? And if people aren't hyped on this or aren't going crazy on this, then yeah,
Mike,
you might
is
have
it
to go
done?
back to
So now, Welty.
Well, let's.
How do you feel about this
No,
show?
let's.
How do you
no,
feel
let's
about
let's
this
roll
show?
into it because that's interesting. Because
Let's get into it.
No, because I remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about the Super Dunks coming back
As the high.
as the high.
Yeah.
But if the Super had come back as a low, would you have fucked with it?
If the Super had come back like the OG,
Yeah.
with like puffy tongue and everything,
Yeah.
100%.
All right. So here's the thing. Here's my thing. We
Wait,
talk-
how is that relevant?
No, because I just wanted to see where you were at on that.
Oh, okay,
You know what
cool.
I mean? I didn't show.
Are you setting me up for something?
No, because
Oh,
I
okay.
remember before you weren't.
I feel like it's a fucking setup.
No.
Okay.
It felt like a setup.
It
You
felt like
weren't-
a setup,
No,
right?
but you weren't excited about the Super coming back as the high.
No, I
but-
was not.
All right. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Did you want a pair of Pigeon Dunks back in the day?
I mean, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, yes.
This is our reset up. We're setting him up for something now. Go ahead.
Cool. Here's the thing. I feel like this
Yes.
is just way too late. There's no this moment happened in sneaker culture, right? We all know it happened. As we talked about it, Jeff Staples told us that this happened many a times.
Yes.
He's
We
like
as in you.
What?
Yes. We as in you. Like you said that we said that Jeff Staples said it multiple times. You actually said that.
Well, I also
No.
think it's factually true.
No, I agree with that.
You guys made
guys
a
said that.
documentary on the thing, so we actually told
A mini
you
doc.
guys about it.
It was a mini doc.
Here's the thing: is like I think that Jeff has done great things for the culture
Yes.
as a whole, but I think where this kind of like loses me is that like in the time frame that like from 2005 right to 2017, in the time frame that we've gone from Pigeon Dunk
Yes.
allegedly being a riot, as reported by what was the New York Post.
Wait, are you calling out the New York Post on their fact checking, or?
I don't know. It just whatever.
A bit hyperbolic?
It might have been a bit hyperbolic.
Okay.
As the Post.
We're gonna have to put the
As the
hyperbolic
Post is
definition up too.
Okay. As they're want to do.
Yeah.
Either way.
What is it? If it was on Fox News, would you have believed it? I'm just asking.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe anyone who comes from like a mainstream media source like talking about
the MSM.
Let's hold on. Let's get
Let's
into
take
this
them to
fucking
task.
story and stop trying to take the fucking
No,
piss
go
out of
ahead,
me.
go ahead,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
go
go ahead.
So basically, what happened is that so Jeff going from like the premium storytelling in sneaker culture to now, it's gone from this was like a jumping off point for his career, and he launched Staple as a brand out of it, you
Sure.
know. But instead of Staple kind of like blowing up and becoming this like really meaningful source of sneaker culture,
Yeah.
I feel like Staples become like TJ Maxx feeder in the process. It's not a brand that like speaks to the culture anymore. You've gone from, you know, doing the original project, which meant a lot,
Sure.
and then it's like you spun it to the New Balances, which were pretty
Those
good.
were dope. Those were dope.
Which were pretty good. And then it kind of like went off the fucking hinges.
It went south for you.
And let's be real about it. He did an Airwalk.
Yep.
He recently did a Ewing.
Yes.
He did a Cole Haan post Nike.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
kind of like it's like the same colorway, and I get it. That's your theme. But like when the brand's gone through all these metamorphoses, and you know it doesn't.
Metamorphoses, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Either way.
Metamorphism? No? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
but it goes through all these changes, and you know you're trying to say that this is the most important story in sneakers anymore when
Yeah.
it doesn't really hold that weight in the conversation. It holds it up based off a nostalgic factor.
Do you think that the kids nowadays who weren't around for the original Pigeon Dunk but know of its reputation care? They do.
I don't know, man.
I feel like they do. Do you think they do?
I think they do.
They do.
I think they do.
Because they weren't around for the original. They've heard about what happened or may not have happened according to the New York Post. And I think they want
But when was the last time you saw the kids care about a dunk in general?
the thing about it is that the
I
house
will
is
be
betting
very
on
surprised.
this.
I will be very surprised if they don't. Let's talk about some other hype sneakers.
Yep.
Welty, you want to talk sneakers of the year already, even though it's November 1st?
Well, I didn't bring up Sneaker of the Year, but Footwear News brought up Sneaker of the Year.
Which is a publication that you trust.
They're
More or less than the New York Post.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
They had their unveiling of the Sneaker of the Year, which
Yep.
they've had over the past few years. Last year was Rihanna with
Yep.
the Fenty Puma. Year before that was Kanye, where they actually had Kanye.
Yep.
You know, where he said shout out to Wex and
That was a
all
big moment.
And
That was
all
a big
that.
moment.
That was a big moment. So maybe this feels like maybe a little bit of a moment. So the biggest debate, you also had Nick DePaula talk about it today too, where it's like can an old silhouette be considered the best sneaker of such and such year?
I'm going to go on the record and say I don't care about this right now. First of all, it's November. Second of all, I respect Footwear News as a publication, but we have our own, like, I'm not really checking for what Footwear News picks as the sneaker of the year.
You're not.
To say,
Is
but
the
it's in
question though, do we
November.
care what Footwear News has to say, or
The
can
answer
an
is
old
no.
sneaker be?
That's bigger. I think the bigger question is this the sneaker of the
Okay.
year?
No,
Very-
it's not. In my
It's
personal
not?
opinion. In my personal
I think
opinion,
it might
it's
be.
not. Okay. So then, but my question is, has this old sneaker been changed enough to become a new sneaker?
Yes.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
considered.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
This was definitely the biggest sneaker moment of 2017.
Sure, but this is not an old sneaker, is my point.
Yeah.
This is an old sneaker reinterpreted for this year. So I think that, to me, this is a new sneaker. So therefore, it
I don't know
can
what
be
it
in
was
the running.
because I'm not reading that.
Therefore, therefore, it can be in the running for
What are you
sneaker of
so
the year. Is
salty
it-
about, man?
Is this your sneaker? Is this in the
November,
running for
man.
your sneaker of the year, Matt Welty?
I definitely think you'd be foolish not to at least consider it as like a top two.
You
Sure.
have to. You have to.
Sure.
You have to. I think the only other thing that like may even be questionable up there is like maybe Vapor Max. I don't know if Vapor Max has held that strong.
But this
Right,
is a problem, and we've spoken about this at length, Brendan and I, because there's so many different categories. Is it retro
Right,
sneaker of the
it's
year? Is it
colorway,
New York
yeah,
sneaker?
yeah,
Is it new release sneaker of the year? So like the Vapor Max to me can be new sneaker release of the year, right? But then a retro kind of like this can be the retro sneaker of the year. So it's like a lot of it gets muddy there. But I do agree with both of you guys that this is definitely up there.
And
But
it's November.
I personally.
But why are you
Do
afraid to
think
give
something-
people your opinion?
Wait, do you think something
I'm not afraid to give
is
people my
more
opinion.
fire?
I'll give it to them when we're at the
You
end
think
of the year.
something more fire is going to drop in the next 2 months
No,
than this?
I think this is a safe bet. But
Oh, okay. I still think the Presto is better than this.
All right.
Personally, my personal opinion.
Rich, talk to me about ComplexCon, something we love to talk about here
Yes.
on the show.
So ComplexCon is obviously going down, as you should know, on November 4th and November 5th in Long Beach, California. Like I said earlier, the FSR boys will be in
We will
full.
be there.
More importantly, ComplexCon is going to be the epicenter, honestly, of sneaker culture and sneaker releases this week.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Nike, Adidas, Puma.
Yeah,
Puma,
we're paid by Complex, so we have to say that. But
No,
even,
no,
even if we weren't, like, you
No,
can't really
there's-
deny that.
No, you
like,
can't deny that.
There's everything that's dropping there. It's like we didn't even know everything that was released.
still don't know.
Yeah,
We still don't know.
And that's
But
not
you
even
see-
bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
like,
that's no
that's-
bullshit. And like in the amount of quantities that things are going to be available upon, where it's like the brands are bringing like their hottest releases of the year, or at least some of them.
Let's just run them down.
And
real
there's stuff
quick,
that we
right?
don't
Like,
know about. There's stuff that we honestly don't know
Yeah.
about. So we can't, fully attest to what's dropping there, but it's going to be fire. That much we do know.
Yeah.
So 4 sneakers releasing early exclusively at ComplexCon, and then the exclusive Virgil Air
Off-white
Force
joints.
Ones.
With the silver swoosh,
Exactly.
not the milky
Right.
sole on it.
Only releasing at ComplexCon as far as we know. Concepts New Balance 999s, the
Right
Those-
there, the Kennedys.
those
the
are releasing?
old pair and the new pair, the
red one?
with the red accents. Adidas has quite a bit lined
Yes.
up.
Yes.
NERD.
It's not all
NMDs
confirmed
we're
on-
hearing. Yeah. Bodega is doing their Vans pack.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Brand will be in the building. I don't know if they have any special releases lined up.
Ghostface Asics.
Ghostface
Ghostface,
A6.
X
There's
Butter
also
A6.
published a story about it today. So Frenzy through
Yes.
Shopify is
Yeah.
going to be there. They're going to have what they're calling it the Shopify Row,
Okay.
where it's a bunch of retailers that use Shopify on the back ends of their site, and they're going to have Frenzy specific drops
that's
for ComplexCon through retailers. So you'll have stuff like the Pusha T brown paper bags
That's the other one, yeah.
dropping through
Yeah.
off the hook, but it'll only be available on the Frenzy app, but it'll only be available to people who are actually
And then you pick up there.
in the building. Yeah,
Dope.
I believe so. Ghostface is going to release
Yep.
like that.
and Ghostface supposed to be there.
yeah.
And let's
Pusha
not-
will be
let's
there.
not forget that Puma is the official
Let us not.
footwear sponsor of ComplexCon.
Yes. Let
You-
that one breathe.
which-
Let that one breathe.
Which Puma are you going to rock?
All of them. Every single one of them.
It's going to be a difficult
I'm gonna rock
choice.
Pumas on my hands. In addition to all the stuff that's dropping, like I said, FSR will be in the building. We'll be doing a very special episode of FSR from ComplexCon in the eBay X Stadium Goods booth. Make sure to come by. If you're at ComplexCon, come by that eBay Stadium Goods booth and say what's up to the FSR boys.
Say-
I'm happy to shake your hand. I'll have
Yeah.
some hand
Say-
sanitizer there that we
Say
can kind of pass around.
say what up. Say what up to us,
Yes.
and then you can stay. See Joe LaPuma go sneaker shopping and
Yes.
all that stuff. So
Yes.
if you want to get there early to do that,
Come through.
We're the opening act. We're the opening act.
We're the opening act.
For Joe LaPuma, yeah. So now we're gonna break down, the best and worst things that we've seen this week.
Yes. What was the worst thing you saw?
The worst thing that I saw, I have to admit, this is a bit personal, but Nike.
Oh, it's personal.
Oh, it's personal.
I'm glad we're getting.
okay.
We got personal
Finally.
last week too. when we
Yeah.
talked about your
No.
At least he's admitting it now.
Yeah, no, this is Nike is bringing back shocks.
Yes, and this is personally offensive to you.
Yeah, personally offensive.
Why is that?
Yeah.
There, I used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods
Okay.
way back
Shout
in the
out to
day.
DSG.
Shout out.
Shout out Dick's Sporting Goods,
Yeah.
and this was around 2006, where it was all a bunch of bro-y sort of guys who'd come in and be like, "Bro, I need a pair of shocks."
How many? If you had to guess, how many pairs of shocks you
I sold a lot, and it was crazy
Is
because
it in the thousands?
But these bros were paying your commission though, so you can't completely.
Have you sold thousands of pairs of Nike shocks?
probably close to it. Probably,
Damn,
yeah.
shout out. So
Probably
you're like the Shocks king.
Yeah, but no, I'm not. Go fuck yourself. Never worn a pair, never owned a pair. I always thought it was a bullshit shoe to begin with. The technology has kind of been proven not to be really great for your
So why is it personally offensive though?
I just always thought the shoes were fucking whack, and
and
people that wore them
you
were
had
corny.
to sell them to people all day long.
Yeah, I had to
This
sell
brings
them.
back bad memories.
Yeah, but it was always people that thought they were actually good running shoes, and I'm like, just buy a pair of Asics. Like you're paying less money for it, and it's actually a real running shoe.
They use this as an example of their ability to bring ideas to market quickly and react to what people wanted. And
So you're saying
quickly-
people want this?
Exactly, but also what are you talking about? You're saying that this is your way to fast track products to the market, but we're talking
20 years
about a shoe or a technology that is from 2000.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How does that make any sense?
That's a tongue twister. I don't understand that at all. So they're fast-tracking retro product that they're claiming people want.
Well, it's a new shoe, to be fair, but yeah, I mean, I don't.
What did you wear Shocks back in the day?
I did, absolutely.
I never had a
BB4s.
pair.
No,
I never had a
besides the I know people go back to the Vince Carter, but
Yeah.
did you wear like
No.
fucking turbo shock?
NZs
Yeah, no.
The only joints I rock were BB4s, and those were fire to me.
But you didn't have the real Shocks. You didn't
What's
have.
wrong? Those weren't real?
I mean, you didn't have like fucking wearing cargo shorts.
You didn't have the full kit.
No.
Why are you trying to profile me? No, that did not happen.
You didn't take them to like a fucking barbecue and slam a natty ice.
The worst thing that I saw on the internet this week by far is this atrocious Nike big logo over branding pack, which includes this Air Max 90, an Air Max 97,
Both these upset at this, by the way.
and an Air Max tuned Air. All of these things feature obnoxious, ridiculous logo
the deep
branding.
sigh. I love it, man.
Logo branding on the upper. What's the problem?
Dude, it's just like you're talking about like this is just like you're talking about the worst shit you saw on the
This is
internet
bad.
this week.
It's terrible.
Who fucking cares?
I do.
Dude, it's like
care
this
a
is the
lot.
biggest like moot fucking point, and I know
Why?
you because you're always like, oh, Nike killed the up tempo. It's like
did.
Nike cannot kill the fucking Air Max 90. Nike cannot kill the Air Max 95. They've made
Hold
a
up,
fucking
can I-
trillion colorways
Wait,
of
wait,
these
wait,
shoes
wait.
before.
Turn his
Wait.
volume down a little bit. Just take the levels down.
I
just a
still don't
little
understand
bit.
how this can't be the worst thing I saw on the internet.
And it doesn't. This shoe doesn't really even suck all that bad. It's just whatever. It's like I
What?
saw it. And
I don't
was
think
like,
it's awful.
What?
I think it's bad, but I don't think it's.
It's not even
Yo,
a thing to have a
this is
fucking
terrible.
conversation about. You're just like, oh, I don't like
But
it.
we're
and
conversing
that's
about
that.
it right now.
Yeah, I'm conversing about the fact that I think it's ridiculous that you think that this is actually the worst thing on this
We need
internet.
we need
I
a
don't
close up
understand-
of the
I don't
veins on
understand.
Welty's neck
Wait,
right now as he explains.
I don't understand why I can't
his
converse about the worst thing I saw on the internet.
anger.
This is the worst thing I saw on the internet.
Cool.
Can I
Do you,
finish
do you
now?
hate all of them?
Yeah, but the tuned Air one is by far the worst.
the
With the big
TN,
TN
okay.
thing, I think it's just so bad. This is more like the uptempo of Nike just running out of ideas.
I mean-
and trying to do something new and failing. You said this thing a million times. You said that a million times.
Yeah, but
this is more example of that.
these shoes have like stayed in production for the fucking like past 20 years, man. It's like you can't
So
do
has the
any-
Nike SB.
you can't do anything to this shoe that's gonna like fucking surprise me at a more fucking alarming rate. This is a mainstream shoe.
This doesn't surprise you. This disgusting over.
No.
You killed the Reebok Instant Pump Fury that was overbranded that Future wore. I'm not gonna go back into that casket, right? And you said that it was. I'm getting you this one. You said that it was disgusting because of that overbranded.
Yeah, no,
Reebok
it was-
Vector
it was
print.
more-
So how is this
No,
different?
it was mostly
About
more
Reebok.
egregious just because Reebok got Future and told a fucking dumb story about it.
And
Let's-
you also said that the Instant Pump Furies were whack because of the Vector. Brendan, since Matt disagrees with what I think is bad, can you tell us what the worst thing you saw on the Instagram was?
So this was not something I saw so much as something I heard about, and that's the news that there are, speaking of taking old shoes and changing them around.
Same thing.
There is
Same
a
thing.
Flyknit Air Jordan 3 in the works. Now listen, I think the Flyknit Air Jordan 1 was reasonably tasteful.
I like that sneaker a lot.
Rich likes it a lot because he got a free pair. I
No,
think it's
even if I didn't get the free pair, I liked it a lot. I got the free pair after saying I liked it a lot.
a Flyknit Air Jordan 3. It just sounds like a bad idea.
Okay.
I don't want to go down this road where we get every classic Tinker
just-
Hatfield Jordan in Flyknit. I don't want to do it.
I'm just confused
worried.
about
I'm
how
worried. I'm
they're
scared,
going
man.
to do the cement print on the toe. Like if
Elephant
it's
print.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, how they're gonna do all that shit in just fucking I don't.
So without seeing it, you're off it.
I just don't know how these could look good.
Isn't the Air Jordan 3 in general supposed to come back next year as
I mean,
well?
it's out now.
Yeah.
You mean the black cement joint?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to come out in February.
I'll take that over this. I'm not looking forward
Hell
to
yeah.
this.
Hell yeah.
Rich,
I'm interested in at least seeing how this comes out.
Rich, what are we talking about next?
We are talking about our cop and drop section. Every week we comb through the releases that are dropping this week and we pick out things that we would cop if we had the money to, which we don't. As you can see, we still haven't gotten a new table. My cop of the week, and I've said this already on several episodes, by far is the Complex Con release, hopefully, although it hasn't been confirmed yet, of the NERD Adidas Pharrell Hue NMD Trail.
We haven't
This,
even
to me-
seen a real photo.
Yeah.
We're still just looking at a mock-up of the shoe.
This to me is amazing. I'm a huge Pharrell fan. I'm an NERD fan.
You're not really an NMD fan, though, am I right?
I'm not an NMD fan.
Are you a Boost boy?
I'm not, nope. But I am-
card carrying boost boy, Rich Mays Lopez.
Yeah, that's me.
Although
but-
although at the record show, he said if there was 3 sneakers that he would
Yeah?
wear the rest of his life, Ultra Boost was on that list.
100%.
That
Same
doesn't
as
make
you,
you-
I'm not
motherfucker.
stupid.
Listen, I'm not denying anything right here. That's your man.
Again,
Let him finish.
this is going to be a big moment for for everyone in attendance at Comic-Con that's a Pharrell or an NERD fan, because they will be there performing for the first time, and I don't even know how long. This is fire.
Like you said, like I think it's a cool concept. It's just kind of over the shoe as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay, and also in addition to this, we received word yesterday, I believe, that the Pharrell Chanel ones that were previously just a leak and a rendering are actually confirmed and will be dropping at Colette exclusively to celebrate, unfortunately, the closing of Colette in November. So
go out
if you guys
with a
are looking
bang.
for that, that's the way to go out with a bang.
We flying out to Paris for that one?
Barry?
My cop of
that
the
one.
week is a shoe actually we have right here on the set. We do have a bunch of this stuff releasing this week. This is the Rockefeller Air Force One. This is one of the shoes that's releasing early at Complex Con. There's a lot of Air Force Ones releasing there. I think this is like the most exciting one. I'm all the way.
That's what I was going to ask you. This is your favorite of the five?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm big on this.
But according to the, did a little interview last week.
Did you?
With Biggs from Rockefeller, and made a point that that Rockefeller had made the Air Force One kind of like hip hop shoe at the time.
People were upset about that, right?
People were very
Let's
upset
talk about it. Let's
Let's
talk about
let's
that.
talk
Let's
about
talk
that.
about it.
So,
Let's talk about it.
So basically, what happened is that I just had interviewed Biggs
Yes.
from Rockefeller, very straightforward
Yes.
through Nike for Complex Con.
Give us some context. Graham Biggs Burke, one of the founding members.
Co-founders of Rockefeller.
Yep.
Hanging out with Dame and Jay back in the day.
Yep.
Just asking them simple questions. When's the first time you wore Air Force One? When did you guys start wearing them once? How many pairs did you buy? Just simple stuff. Just straightforward. Just getting the history of Rockefeller's history with the Air Force One. And I published it, and the headline was like, Kareem Biggs Burke says how Kareem Biggs Burke and Rockefeller made the Air Force One hip hop sneaker.
Yep.
Which at the time, a lot of mainstream people, maybe outside of New York or in New York, started wearing white on white Air Force Ones because of Jay-Z.
I have no problem with that.
Can you co-sign that statement?
I have no problem with the assumption that this influenced people outside of New York.
Okay, cool.
Because in the article itself that you published, Biggs says that he was influenced himself from what they were already rocking.
Yeah.
So it was already hot in New York. They just kind of put it on a different stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And what happened after I published the article was a bunch of old motherfuckers went on Instagram, a bunch of wash-up dudes who want to go talk shit on the internet because they're no longer affiliated. Affiliated with any current outlet, or nobody cares about what the fuck they have to say anymore.
Right
Sorry,
to the camera.
they wanted to say shit like I'm a fucking cultural revisionist.
It had nothing to do with your personal opinion.
Nope.
It had nothing to do with your historical point of view.
I didn't even put a take on it, just a headline.
And no opinions. The article was merely about Biggs's interpretation of his and Rockefeller's influence on the sneaker. 100%. Nothing else. I interpret it as Biggs saying that they took a sneaker that was already hot in the streets and made it hip-hop sneaker because it was...
Not New York sneaker, hip-hop.
Exactly. Not New York sneaker, hip-hop sneaker for people like Nelly later, who came out with Air Force One and so on and so forth. They brought it to them. Is that the correct way to interpret that?
I think that's what, when I wrote that and I'm envisioning in my head, I'm thinking about all the kids across America at the time who were watching 106 in Park and seeing Jay-Z and being like, I'm buying white on white Air Force Ones. Kids who are living in, St. Louis or Florida or Texas or whatever the fuck.
I think we spent enough time on the Rockefeller Air Force One.
How mad could you be about something that you're spending your time talking shit on Instagram about it? Come on, man. We got to do better as a culture and as a people.
Pretty upset, apparently. Welty, tell me, what is your cop of the week?
My cop of the week, let's move on. Get that off the fucking chest.
You feel good? You feel better now?
Yeah, I feel better.
Is FSR weekly cathartic session for you?
Sometimes it's like either that or I'd be just fucking ranting to myself in my apartment.
This
you
is
know
better.
what I mean? Yeah.
You do that?
No, no. I'm saying I would just be like talking to myself.
This is healthier.
Yeah. My cop of the week is this shoe right here. The New Balance 999 Kennedy.
We're not calling it Kennedy, right? We're not calling it Kennedy.
It's now called the Hyannis, where the Kennedys had their little compound, or still do. But as you can see, it's in the red colorway. The red was supposedly original prototype of this sneaker, which dropped in 2011.
Yep. I think it's a great sneaker. But I just want to ask a question. If you're going to bring back a classic Concepts New Balance, and there have been plenty of them, is this the one?
Yes.
This is the one that made it. They did shoes before that, and they did
It's not
shoes.
even so before, but I'm just
No, they did do shoes before this, and they did do shoes after it. But this is like the only one that it's been long enough.
Yeah.
If you bring back like a shoe that dropped 3 years ago, it's it's kind of like weird. But this has enough history on it, and I think like we were talking about before with the Pigeon dunk, right?
Yep.
I think the difference between that is that maybe even the mood might not be right for this shoe to come back.
Sure.
But I think Concepts has been able to hold its place in the market or even grow even bigger in a more premium and better way.
Okay. And these are also a Complex Con exclusive.
That will be a Complex
Yes.
Con.
Yep.
I want to talk about my drop of the week. It is this VaporMax CS that we are unfortunate enough to have with us today. Let me see the shoe.
That were sent to us by the good folks sent to me.
Okay.
By the
Give me the
good
shoe.
folks at JD
Listen,
Sports. Shout out.
Obviously, I am a bigger fan of the VaporMax than most.
And everyone in this panel.
and we've known from the start that Nike was going to do this. You know, Mark Parker has talked about them scaling the VaporMax technology.
Yep.
It just doesn't make the shoe.
This is not the right
It just
direction.
strips away that whole premium feel of that big bag and that nice Flyknit upper. This is just.
You would think they would go to VaporMax, the original silhouette, and get better, but they went like down.
Yeah.
But they're gonna
bunch
have to
of
hold
tiers.
on to this sole unit for a while.
Oh,
It's
for
not
sure.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
For sure.
not
Yeah.
like something new's coming
But
out
this
next
is not
week.
the direction I wanted them to. We wanted them to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By far.
Rich, tell me about your drop of the week.
My drop of the week is a very unfortunate one, and that is the Nike Lab Zoomfly SP NYC. I really wanted to like the sneaker. I'm from New York City. The New York Marathon means a lot to me. It's a huge event here in New York City, but this is a really bad sneaker.
What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
I agree. This is just the worst colorway.
Come on,
I'm a huge fan of the Zoomfly too, and
Yeah.
this is
This is the worst one.
objectively- Yeah.
And I really wanted to cop an NYC Zoomfly SP because I do like the sneaker, but this is just not it.
Is this worse than the Chicago one to you?
By far.
Yeah,
The Chicago
yeah.
one is
That
really
black
dope.
sole isn't right.
The black sole is way too, it makes the sneaker look too heavy. That NYC font is garbage. This is just not a good sneaker.
My drop of the week was a collaboration that I used to be kind of fond of the first round or two, but it's the Pusha T x Adidas EQT. Pusha had like with the way that it got unveiled through Adidas, I think he had one of the most authentic stories to tell. You know, the way that they were like, holy shit, they're having drug references on shoes.
Yeah.
Like the white one was crazy with the Pyrex.
best one.
I don't like faux fish scale.
That was in the first one too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on this I don't like it, but it just feels like the story's a little forced on this one as compared to the first few.
This is supposedly his
This is
last.
his last one, right? Which I wonder, is he still working with Adidas in any capacity, or?
This one just feels like it had
letdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
Are
enough.
you guys into the
These will
shoe
be
or
available
no?
at Complex Con. I like the sneaker.
I don't need
I think
it.
it's better than the gray one that dropped before it. But either way, again, these will be available at Complex Con.
I don't need it. The last segment before we get out of here is we usually like to dip into our mailbag and take some questions from the users on social media. We are skipping that this week in lieu of our Soul Halloween costume contest. This gentleman really killed it. The sneakers are a little bit off, but I still respect the footwear choice, obviously.
The short shorts.
Yeah.
Are
Nailed
those,
it.
are those OGs or 94s?
They look like 94s a little bit, right?
They're quite old either way. Doing this Jordan
Very nice.
pose. This is
Classic.
This is funny.
This is DJ Steph Floss recreating LeBron James's draft day outfit, right?
Down to the
Who's
baggy ass
who's
suit
the DJ for the Cleveland
Cavs.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
This is an iconic photo. Like after LeBron was drafted, he did this thing. So this is good. This is funny.
Nice work here by Steph. What else do we have? This gentleman has a Forrest Gump fit. He actually did a whole like
Is that Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah.
This guy with
kinda fucked up.
he's got the Forrest Gump Cortez on, and he shot like a mini video. If you go to the Full Size Run Twitter, we'll definitely retweet it to
I'm
show you. But the
disappointed
video
that it's
he
not
made,
actually alcohol and it's like a San Pellegrino.
Yo, the Lieutenant Dan is crazy though. This is good. This is very well.
nice
done.
work on that one. I think we have one or two more. Oh yeah, we saw a lot of hoodie mellow. Doesn't take the most effort.
Bit lazy.
Bit
A
lazy.
little lazy. A little lazy.
was
Except
a
for
little
the-
lazy with my costume,
Outside
so I
of the
can't-
Jordan one, I think trying to dress up like an athlete just because you have someone's jersey is lazy as fuck.
You're not
Yeah.
giving these people any points.
No.
No.
All right.
I'm Rich Mays Lopez.
I'm Brendan Dunn, newsletter at Soul Collector.
I'm Matt Welty, editor of Complex Sneakers.
and that was Full Size Run Show. Till next time, y'all. Peace.
Listen, this is important. I need you to subscribe. They're going to make me keep wearing these fake Skechers Yeezys until we hit 50,000 subscribers. So please subscribe to Soul Collector on YouTube. Now.